Okay, everybody, we have head coach Brad Brownell.
Disappointing day today. Took another step back after we took a step forward with a great win against Louisville. Our number one objective in the game was to keep Duke out of transition. I think they're very good that way, and we didn't do any of that. Our turnovers, maybe 25 points off turnovers. I mean, you give them confidence. It just puts you in a huge hole. And then our lack of making shots is becoming a problem. In all these games, our guys just lose most of their spirit after a while. And there's some guys that haven't made shots in 2 weeks. So we got to get back in the gym. We got to find a way to get these guys, some baskets. They're going to have to step up and make some shots so that they can continue to have some juice. But clearly, I think the shot making or lack thereof is seeping into our energy defensively. It's just against really good teams, like it's hard to sustain. We were able to overcome it against Louisville a little bit, but not today. And I thought Duke give them a lot of credit. I thought the Duke kids, Coach K had them really ready to play. They had some time to get ready, and they had a good plan in place. They guarded us well. Their kids played with confidence. I said before the game, I thought they looked like a team that's improving and really, playing their best basketball, and they did that today.
Coach Joe Gorcho, WIS TV in Columbia. You talk about the shot making and the lack of confidence there. I mean, is there a magic button you know how to push in terms of being able to get these guys to just kind of forget the miss and move on to the next play?
No. There's people that do that for a living, obviously we've talked about it as, we want to try to take quality shots. I think we've probably had some better shots in a lot of the games than what we're making. We got the ball in the paint several times early. John Newman, some guys got it in there and we couldn't score. Again, we have some guys not making threes that are open. And again, all those misses, lead to transition defense. Combine that with turnovers, and you're on your heels a lot defensively in these games. And so, we're trying like crazy to guard Matthew Hurt, Johnson, Stewart, all these guys doing an okay job. And they have some other guys on their team that aren't maybe as prolific as scorers, and they're making some shots, which makes it even harder. And, we just, it just kind of all rolls together, I think, a little bit. It's hard to continue to sustain your defense when you're not scoring and getting some juice off your offense. You got to be incredibly tough mentally. And we're obviously not that yet. We're just not. And we're not getting any offense. We're not getting offense off our defense. We were getting some more offense off our defense earlier in the year. And for whatever reason, the last, couple of weeks, we haven't been able to do that. Obviously, we're playing good teams, but, it all kind of rolls together a little bit. Another question?
Yeah, Coach, is there any thought to maybe like rotations then offensively to trying to figure out?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying.
Yeah.
Like if you look, we tried the two small guys at the beginning of the second half. We've played different guys, different 4 or 5 combinations. Different guys. We played smaller guys. We started, a smaller lineup with John Newman at the 4 to try to be faster and just, and that initially didn't do much for us in the second half. We've tried, we started some guys that we think are defensive minded guys to help our defense during this stretch. And then, it's not like we have some secret weapon. I mean, Alex Hemingway can make some baskets for us, but he only made 1 basket today. He was out there 16, 18 minutes. So it's not like we have some guy that we're not playing because he doesn't guard as well, who we know is going to get us 15 points. Everybody's getting an opportunity, and we got to figure out a way to coach our guys better, encourage them, continue to work to put them in better positions to make shots, score, and give them some juice off of making a couple baskets. It just becomes really hard. And you can almost see sometimes coming into the huddles, you're trying to encourage them and they're a little deflated that they haven't made any shots. And especially sometimes when they're really good shots, that's even worse. And so, again, it wasn't like we had a ton of great shots today. I'm not saying that. Duke guarded us very well. But, our lack of scoring is putting too much pressure on our defense, and our defense is not, holding up like it did against Louisville.
Do you sense the weight that Simms is carrying right now maybe is almost too much for one guy, because he seems to obviously be your guy in and game out? He had another good performance today, but
he had a good offensive performance. But to be honest with you, my seniors did not start the game defensively very well at all. We had multiple mistakes by our older players early in the game that got us behind. And so, and I gave a lot of credit to our seniors for the Louisville game. Our seniors were outstanding in the Louisville game. They were outstanding. They played great. They were competitive. They hung in there even when we weren't making shots. But and it started defensively. Today they weren't. And there's a lot of ownership that they have to take with that. This is really their team. They're the guys that have the biggest voices on this team, and we've got to make sure that they're playing well, because that's who our guys draw energy from.
Is this something where you encourage your guys to come in on their own now and get more shots up, after practice?
Guys are doing that.
Okay.
Guys do that. They stay after practice. They meet with, assistant coaches. They shoot some on their own. It's not that they're not putting in time. Guys, it's just different. You got to make some shots in a game. Like, there's a difference making, staying after practice and making 100 threes and drills and stuff. And you got to see the ball go in a basket in a game to kind of give you some juice. Just give you some confidence. Al had a game the other day where he saw the ball go in a few times. That helped him a little bit. Nick's had a couple tough shooting nights. He's going to bounce out of it. Great to see Chase Hunter. I thought Chase Hunter gave us some juice, showed some good pop to his game offensively. I think he's hopefully turning the corner a little bit for us. We need another guy who can help us take some pressure off.
I know
You got a quick turnaround with North Carolina coming in Tuesday night. So you don't have a whole lot of time to dwell on this one, but you don't have a whole lot of time to work on the things that you're talking about. So how about this quick turnaround and getting ready for the Tar Heels?
Yeah, this has been really hard. We didn't making excuses, but we didn't get any favors by this coming off a 9:00 game on a Wednesday. And again, you don't really do much on Thursday, and then you're playing Duke on Saturday at noon. And they played on Monday, and now North Carolina doesn't play this weekend, and we play them on Tuesday. Like, this is a hard one. This has been an incredibly difficult two and a half weeks or whatever. And obviously some of it's compounded by the way we're playing. We're not playing well, so we don't feel good. But it's hard to coach the things you need to get better at when you have a game every couple of days. Our third game in 7 days. And so you're trying to prep, you're trying to work your guys, get better, but they also need to be, have a little bit of rest. And we just haven't found the balance. We talked about how on Monday and Tuesday we had extremely difficult practices, and it carried over to Wednesday. Thursday, we really couldn't do much. And then Friday we had, an hour and 15-minute work, but it was mostly game planning for Duke. And for whatever reason, that wasn't enough to get our team prepared for today's game at noon. And, it's going to be hard to do a lot tomorrow. And then you got a one-day Monday, get ready, and then you play Tuesday. So it's hard to make the adjustments. This is, that's why I always tell, it's different in football. It's hard to get back onto the practice court and work on all the things you need to work on sometimes in the way you want to work on them game speed. And so, I got to figure out ways to do some things better. I got to coach some things better to help my guys be more successful. Because I do think if we shoot the ball a little bit better, that's score a little bit more. That gives us a few less possessions in transition. We can't turn the ball over. And then I think it will energize our players a little bit more. This really struggling to score is putting a lot of pressure on us. And you almost can feel it on our players right now.
One more question if someone has one.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.